Hey everyone, how y'all doing? My name is Mateo and I am from Maschine Masters. Ever wonder how some of your favorite artists get their vocal doubles so tight to their lead vocals? The answer is practice. Okay, aside from practice, also a little help from the industry standard vocal alignment tool, Revoice Pro. Ideally, your vocalist, whether it be a singer or rapper, is proficient at doubling their vocals. In some cases, this isn't so. In other cases, they are, but they have, say, slipped on a word here or there. This is what I use whenever I need to tighten up vocal doubles. So, I'm currently in the process of mixing a track that I recorded for one of my clients, and there are some vocals that I feel like could use a little tightening up. Now, I've got the first part of the first verse selected over here, and what I'm going to do here is play it back for you so you can all hear the vocal doubles.
Looking up out the SVR, see the stars, let it do me while I'm cruising through the back streets. Now she wanna do me in the backseat, everything's nasty. Flex the wrist if a hater drives past me. Spread my money out vastly, making sure it outlasts me. These days I'm on road, always on the go. Back and forth to Europe, got a villa on the cove.
Awesome. So for the most part, pretty good. There are a couple lines that I feel like could use a little tightening up. So I'm first going to zoom into the first line that stood out to me a little bit. Let's actually solo these vocals.
Everything's nasty. Flex the wrist. Now she wanna do me in the backseat, everything's nasty. Flex.
So the first line that I noticed that could use a little more tightening is the nasty line. First thing I do before I do any sort of editing to any of my vocals, I like to duplicate the tracks in case you ever need to go back to the original for any reason. So let's duplicate this. Amazing. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is open Revoice Pro. Now, Revoice Pro is an application that does need to be launched in order for the audio suites and the plugins to work in your DAW. So when you open Revoice Pro, it opens up in this window, blank session, untitled, all that jazz. So now we're going to switch back to your DAW. So for the purpose of lining up these doubles, Revoice Pro has a really cool audio suite called APT, and it's really simple to use. So that's what we're going to be using mainly today. So we go to Audio Suite and select our Revoice Pro APT. Now, for those of you wondering, APT stands for Audio Performance Transfer. What that means is what we're going to be doing is taking the performance from the lead vocal and transferring that to the double, so the double lines up with the lead. Now, essentially what Revoice Pro is going to be doing is it's going to be doing all the time compression and expansion that you would normally have to do manually and expedite the process. So this really saves a lot of time. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to start with this nasty line.
Things nasty.
So what you want to do is select the exact word that you want in the lead. Let's just solo it.
Nasty.
And on the Revoice APT, you're going to make sure it's set to capture guide. Your lead is your guide. You're going to select capture. And now you're going to go to your double and make the selection of the word that you want.
Nasty.
Great. And now you're going to capture that. And as you can see, Revoice Pro APT already switched automatically to capture dub. The double is the dub. So once you've hit capture, you hit spot, and it's going to transfer the performance from the lead to the double now. Great. So now when we listen to both, they're in sync.
It's nasty.
Compared to the original.
It's nasty. It's nasty.
Very subtle difference, but as you can hear, it's lined up nicely. So I'm going to move on to the next line and do the same thing. So let's listen to the next one.
It's Just if a hater drives past me. Just if a hater drives past me. Spread my money.
Okay.
Money out vastly.
Vastly. The first bit of vastly is a little off and it almost sounds like a little slap delay there, which I don't really want in this. So, again, make your selection of the word.
Vastly.
Great. Capture. And now make your selection of the double.
Vastly.
Capture. And spot.
Vastly. Vastly.
Very nice. Little fade there.
Spread my money out vastly, making sure it.
No more of that little slap at the beginning of that word, so that's good. Now I'm going to do a few more of these, and then we'll take a listen to the vocals before and after. Great, so now I've done a few more of these lines over here. Now we're going to listen back to the before and after.
Everything's nasty. Flex the wrist if a hater drives past me. Spread my money out vastly, making sure it outlasts me. These days I'm on road, always on the go. Back and forth to Europe, got a villa on the cove.
And now the after.
Everything's nasty. Flex the wrist if a hater drives past me. Spread my money out vastly, making sure it outlasts me. These days I'm on road, always on the go. Back and forth to Europe, got a villa on the cove.
Awesome. So definitely much tighter. Cool. Now the last thing that I'm going to show you all is how to make manual adjustments to how Revoice APT works. Instead of just using the quick function, you can actually customize how tight or how loose the doubles are, which is really cool. So let's jump into the Revoice window after I've already captured this selection over here. So when you use Revoice Pro's APT, what happens in the background is that it gets imported into Revoice Pro and it does all the calculations and all the manipulation in here. So what we have here on top is our lead, and just below it is our double. And below that is what Revoice spits out after it's done all the adjustments to the double. Now, say that you don't want your doubles so tight. You want them to maintain some of its original performance to kind of leave it just a little more organic sounding. Well, what you can do is after you've captured your selection, you can go to this arrow over here and it brings up a window that allows you to customize the various parameters. So over here, since all we're doing is lining up the timing of the doubles, that's what we have checked off over here. And so you can choose to keep it as tight or as loose as you want. But usually what I do in this instance is I play around with the alignment. So you can go anywhere from high flexibility to lowest flexibility. And let's zoom into these waveforms so we can kind of see what's going on here. Take a look at these waveforms over here, what exactly happens when I change the alignment over here. So first I'm going to start off going to lowest flexibility. So as you can see here, when switched to lowest flexibility, you'll notice that the stretching of the waveforms are not exactly dead on to the lead. They're kind of in between the lead and the double to maintain some semblance of that double performance. But the initial words are actually lined up quite well. So look at these waveforms over here when I switch to highest flexibility. So if we look at this waveform over here, you'll see that it's actually very well lined up to the lead now. You can see that the end of this waveform is very close to the end of the waveform of the lead. So it's moved over quite a bit from where it originally was. So if you want more of a loose performance, switch to lowest flexibility or low. And if you want something tighter, then switch to high flexibility. Now, the other really cool thing about Revoice Pro that I love is if you're working on, say, singing vocals, you can not only align the timing of the doubles to the leads, but you can also align the pitch to the leads just by activating pitch. And when you're working with things like harmonies, not just doubles, you can also have it tune relative to the lead. So once you've made your adjustments to how tight or how loose you want the vocals, you can then go back into your DAW and then hit spot, and it makes those minor adjustments applied to the doubles. Now, just a warning here, I would like to say if you set the alignment and pitch of the dub track exactly to match the lead, you will be at risk of serious phasing issues. This happens because the two vocals are too similar. Be mindful of that. Don't try to make it too tight in both pitch and time to the lead. You do want it to sound somewhat, organic. Thanks again to all of you that checked out this tutorial. We really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about what we covered in this tutorial, please feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Also, if you have any suggestions for future tutorials, also leave that in the comment section below. As always, please like and share this video and subscribe to Maschine Masters to keep up with all our latest tutorials. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Everything's nasty. Flex the wrist if a hater drives past me. Spread my money out vastly, making sure it outlasts me. These days I'm on road, always on the go. Back and forth to Europe, got a villa on the cove.